could all be yours. Feel the weight of a motor. It could all be yours. If you had the words to play, traitor cut down the altar. It could all be yours. Soldier circling the flame. Of a dying sun, I climb the altar and I cry my praises. This could all be yours. Feel the weight of a motor. It could all be yours. If you had the words to play, traitor cut down the altar. It could all be yours. Soldier circling the flame. Feel the weight of a motor. A traitor watching me end. But the pain of a falter. This would all be yours. This would all be yours.
Are we rolling? Yeah, good. That's fine.
I read a fun facts about the brain and how it starts to deteriorate when we get to 27 or thereabouts. It got me thinking about my head and what I can do to help stimulate it. It makes me sad, but
I've forgotten what I'm on about.
let's on the bright side, the parasitis, and you can sit there unless you're righteous. I wear a happy face like I'm in game. I feel numb now, is that a feeling? Like a plastic box, storage with no peeling. I wanna waste away. And I'm getting high on a Saturday night. I'm on the edge of the night. Nobody cares if I'm dead or alive. Oh, what a wonderful life. Oh, Debbie Downer, what's your problem? Don't wanna be here, still call shotgun. You got the FOMO coursing through my veins. This is not drill, no, this is a real world. Domesticated, still a little feral. Well, don't you know that you with your mouth closed? And I'm getting high on a Saturday night. I'm on the edge of the night. Nobody cares if I'm dead or alive. Oh, what a wonderful life.
far out of the wilderness. And one day this might earn me less, but everybody knows I'm still down. Don't tell me what the butcher does. There's no need for the obvious. So obvious still it's kinda lush, but everybody knows I made vows. Left feet on the podium, can't think of an element. And hell yeah, I'll be up with it. Everybody knows I got bounce.
Nothing left to gain. It's the attitude.
Hey y'all, it's racing day, so loud out here I can't hear a thing. Man, the fans are going wild. And these drivers came to rock, and no place else but Fox knows how to do it NASCAR style. Boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys! Hey now, here we go, race day. Don't you be going slow. Keep that pedal down on the floor. Push it to the crowd, can't take no more than that. Since the flag came down the air to the last lap around. When all it's time to play, gonna get a little bit sideways. Since the flag came down the air to the last lap around. When all it's time to play, gonna get a little bit sideways.
Welcome everybody to sunny Las Vegas, Nevada here for the JP Designs Truck Series Championship finale. Man, it's been a long 15 race season and we folks have narrowed it down to just 4 drivers. Hopefully for those guys' sake, there ain't too many cars here tonight. Those guys can truly focus on themselves, but of course we will have some outsider drivers coming out and racing tonight. And as you see, some guys are on track getting some practice time in. This will be a day to night transition here at Las Vegas, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful, folks. Before we get into it tonight, we have prepared some promos courtesy of the Final 4 drivers, providing us some songs for them to use, and I will be playing each of these 4 promos. I would like to warn you guys there is explicit language in all the music that we play, and I would also like to give you guys a little bit of a volume warning and a little bit of content warning. There's different genres of music from rap to rock to pop music in these, so just feel free to tune them out if you want to real quick. But we appreciate everyone for tuning in here to WORC TV, and we're going to start presenting these one by one. The first playoff promo that I will be presenting to you guys is going to be of the driver of the number 71, Gino Mero. He has had himself a very phenomenal and consistent season. He has ran well in that Fry Designs Racing Toyota Tundra of his, and so here we go. Here's Gino's Final 4 promo.
Oh my god, kid season, you're crazy.
All of my diamonds to hit, I believe it. If you got money, then give me a feature. Straps on my body, I feel like a cheetah. Shawty, she want me, I don't wanna meet her. I get it back and I'm doing the most. I'm making hits and I feel like the GOAT. Now I got money, I'm making it toast. These bitches on me, they doing the most. I get it back and I'll do it again. Shawty, she on me, she telling her friends. You want a feature, then give me a band. I'm making money, I don't make amends. They keep on telling me I ain't gonna make it in music, but I'm gonna be who I am. I'm finna put on my team and mention these label, they on me cause I'm a demand. I want designer bags, expensive tags. Baby, we can run planet Earth and get it back. In the stool like every night, I run it back. To all the people who doubted me, I know you sad. Da 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 da. Yeah, yeah.
Alright, folks, that was Gino Mero's playoff promo, and man, like I said, Gino, he's had himself a very consistent season. We're glad to have him with us here in the Final 4 for tonight. And next up on the driver's list, we're going to go to the man in the 80, Christian Visconti. He's been craving a win all season. Unfortunately, he hasn't quite got one yet. But that 80 truck, he had back-to-back top 5s to put himself in this position here today from Talladega and Nashville. So he carried himself well in that last round, and we're glad to have Christian with us here in the Final 4. Let's get into it. This is Christian Visconti's Final 4 promo.
too hard for me to jam. It ain't 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 too hard for me to jam.
All right, folks, that was Christian Visconti's playoff promo. Like I said, man, Christian, he's one of 4 drivers here tonight. He's looking to put himself into a championship position here tonight at Las Vegas, and we'll see if he's able to. Our next driver now, he notched a win early in the season back at Daytona, and he's been pretty strong ever since. In fact, he has been a guy who I would call probably the most clutch driver in WORC. He was facing elimination in round 1 at Homestead, ran about 13th through 15th that whole race, was just absolutely struggling. Somehow, Paul Granata in the 04 took a last restart to his advantage, and he drove himself up to P4 to take a top 5 to move on to the next round. And then last week at Nashville, once again, was running about 8th to 10th, was just too far out, was facing elimination from the final 4, and suddenly Paul drives himself up into the top 3. And absolutely, man, he has been the clutch guy. He's been probably the closer, if you will. I know, no diss to Kevin Harvick there, but they do kind of drive the same number. Paul's in the 04, Harvick's in the 4, so who knows. But anyways, this is Paul Granata's Final 4 promo.
But to find nothing. Never found someone who really loves me. People coming around now cause I'm getting money. A few plays later, now that y'all see something. The same guy that is from the start. The same guy my ex left with a broken heart. The same guy who turned music into his art. The same 7-year-old who dreamt of being a star.
All right, folks, that was Paul's promo. It's a little bit short, and now we're going to go to the final of the 4 drivers' promos. Blake Kennedy, probably the guy with the best stats. Well, yeah, I guess statistically the best guy of these 4 drivers. Blake has 1 win this season back at iRacing Super Speedway. He was able to save the truck after getting turned in 3 and 4 and somehow bring it across the line to win. Absolutely crazy finish there. And it was absolutely great for him at Nashville. He led tons of laps there. He led tons of laps at Homestead as well. So, I mean, looking back on Nashville, he's coming off a good race there. And looking back at Homestead, that's a 1.5 mile track. That's the last 1.5 mile track that we have visited in this series. And Blake was able to get it done, lead some laps there. So now I present to you guys Blake Kennedy's Final 4 promo. All right, folks, that was Blake Kennedy's Final 4 promo right there. And with introducing each of the 4 drivers, we're going to try to bring them in here for some interviews here. I believe we only have 1 of them here, so let me see if I can get them in here real quick. So real quick, momentarily, taking a quick look at it, man. This track, we're going to bring up some times here in practice so far. We don't have many drivers here, which is a good thing for those Final 4 guys. Like I said, our car count has been ecstatic all year. We've had over 30 drivers, so it'd probably be a good thing for these guys to have about 10 people in this race. So those are the 9 drivers who've put down practice times at the moment, and we'll see who else joins as things progress. But for now, let me try to see here if I can pull in one of our Final 4 drivers here. I'm going to try to see who I can bring in. Looks like we've only got Christian Visconti so far, so let's see if we can get Christian in here. Christian, you're in the WORC TV booth, buddy. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Let me see if I can find you on track real quick right here. All right, well, Christian, you are here in the Final 4. It's been a great season for you, a very consistent season at that. The big thing that people might look at with you is you don't quite have that win yet this season. But do you think that having a race win matters, or are you just going all out for that championship? You know that the championship means more to you.
I mean, a race win would be nice, and I've been close a couple times this season. Obviously, I wish I had one, but I mean, I know I can theoretically win the title without winning even here today. So I mean, it's not of the utmost importance, but I mean, it should be nice to go out with a win and a title here today. But I
All
don't
right.
think I.
I mean, like I said, it's been a great season for you and for your team in total, as you guys have half the Final Four field here today. Um, I guess the other thing I have to ask is looking at your other Final Four contenders. I mean, we've got a pretty strong field. We've got Gino Mero, we've got Paul Granata. Everyone kind of has teammates here. Do you think that there might be a little bit of teammate issues coming into play? Maybe some guys holding you up a little bit, trying to help their teammates out. Do you think that's going to be a factor in today's race?
I mean, I certainly hope not. Regardless if it benefits me or not. But I think it's inevitable. I'm sure that there'll be some sort of teammate thing going on, but I'll just have to, if it goes against me, I'll have to just overcome it, hopefully, and win.
All right, man. Well, Christian, we look forward to hopefully talking to you post-race, man. It's been a great season for you nonetheless. I mean, you've put yourself in as one of the top 4 drivers of the series throughout the whole campaign, so congratulations to you on that. And I don't want to say anything superstitious, so I'll just tell you, I hope you have a good one here. And like I said, hopefully we get to talk to you after the race, man. We'll see you around.
Sure, thank you.
All right, guys. That's Christian Visconti. And as we see Christian Visconti, he kind of goes down in a blaze of glory right there, if you will, as he, I'm not really 100% sure what he was doing there, but we're going to try to bring in our next guy for interviews. It's going to be Paul Granata. Let's see if we can find him on the racetrack. There he is. There's Paul Granata in a brand new Nova Sim Racing truck just for this race. And let's see if we can bring Paul in here. Paul, you're in the WORC TV booth, buddy. Do you have a copy?
I do.
All right, man. Well, you're in the Final Four, Paul, and that's without to say that you have probably been the most clutch driver here in the playoffs. You have faced elimination in both rounds. You have not really ran very well in those races, but somehow you pull out the good finishes. Are you looking to play the closer one more time and bring it home for a championship tonight?
Well, I guess the only thing I could say is we we should have been eliminated after the first round. We got to the front at the end of the races. So I'm hoping it maybe goes opposite. We could stay up front this time instead of being the back. But yeah, I'm hoping we can pull it out and get it done.
All right, man. Well, I was talking with that 80 truck of Christian Visconti, and obviously all the Final Four drivers, you guys really just have to have this motto to be confident. Do you seriously see yourself as fully confident a championship contender tonight?
Yeah, honestly, it's a great group of drivers here to battle it out for. I think it's gonna be a really good fun battle to watch. I don't know, honestly, I don't know if I got the confidence on this one.
All right, man. Well, hopefully we'll be talking to you later tonight. Like I said, I mean, there's 4 great drivers who I might be talking to tonight, so we'll see what happens post-race, but have a good one out there, Paul, and we'll see you around, man.
Thank you. You too.
All right, guys, it's Paul Granata. Let's see if we can find Blake Kennedy on the track. There he is. He's on pit row. Let's see if we can talk to Blake real quick. Blake, you're in the WORC TV booth, buddy. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I do.
All right, man. Well, you come into here with probably the best stats of any of the other Final Four contenders. You have that 1 win at iRacing Super Speedway. You have 9 top 10s, which is tied for the most of anybody else in the Final Four with Christian Visconti, your teammate. I mentioned it to Visconti earlier. You guys are teammates. You're in the Final Four. However, the other guys, they are known to have strong teams behind them. Paul Granata, he's got Nova Sim Racing behind him. Gino Mero, he has Fry Designs Racing behind him. Do you see any teammate games possibly being played, trying to help their teammates get an advantage here in the championship run? Or do you think you and Christian, at being teammates yourselves, might have this thing on lockout?
Well, the odds are definitely in our favor. We got 2 cars in the Final Four compared to them having 1 on each team. It's a smaller count today, and I mean, I don't know how much really teammates will be a factor here. I mean, yeah, I can see letting people by, but you just got to be the fastest truck here. That's all it's going to come down to.
Well, I mean, taking a look at it here, obviously you have been a fast truck this season. Do you think that it's going to take a win to get the championship here, or do you think it's definitely in the realm of possibility to just be the highest finishing truck tonight?
I think it's going to take a win. You know, there's not a lot of trucks here, and we're in the Final Four for a reason. So I think it's going to take a win to get the championship.
All right, man. Well, hopefully I'll be able to talk to you tonight, Blake. It's been a pleasure interviewing you here, man, and we'll see you around. Congratulations on being one of the Final Four contenders, and we'll be watching you tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys, it's Blake Kennedy, man. He's been good this season. I'll tell you that one. As practice is going on here, interestingly enough, we don't have a sign of our fourth contender, Gino Mero. I'm really not sure what's going on there. He has two of his Fry Designs teammates here, so not 100% sure what's going on there. But we really don't have much of a car count tonight, which is probably a good thing for these Final Four contenders. They really didn't want many guys here. They wanted to be able to race it out themselves. And honestly, some of these Final Four contenders, they're kind of joking around like, well, what if we just didn't let anybody else besides us four race it out? And for quality purposes, it was good to have a few extra cars added in here. But, I mean, if half the field is going to be part of the Final Four, then I don't see too much of an issue going on here as we see some of these guys practicing. Christian Visconti is top of the charts in that 80 truck. So he's definitely the first Final Four guy on speed for sure. And that 80 is looking pretty quick here as he winds down the Nellis straightaway back there. Paul Granata, he's the second fastest there. And if you notice, I did mention he has a new truck there. Normally he rides a blue number 04. Well, Paul Granata, he now has a full-on sponsorship from Rocket Racing Setups there. And I actually used to be friends with the guy who owns Rocket Racing Setups, so it's kind of neat for me to see that out there. But that Nova Sim Racing Rocket Racing Setups JP Designs number 04 Ford F-150, he's out here second in practice right now. And man, I'm actually a little bit surprised about the car count. I mean, we have not had under 20 drivers until last week for the first time ever, and we didn't have under 30 drivers for the whole season from Iowa until last week as well. So it was little confusing to me, but right there we see that 04 truck. It was looking pretty nice. Now it's not. So I guess guys, they don't want to ruin the Final Four. I don't know, man. Anyways, looking at it now, Blake Kennedy, I wonder if he's just putting down some laps by himself, perhaps, not really trying to get himself in the draft, because that 75, he's P7 right now. Last of the Final Four contenders who are in here, and Gino Mero is not here, which could make things a lot more interesting if he doesn't show up, because I'm really not sure what's going on with Gino. I mean, he seemed very prepared to make it to tonight's race, so not 100% sure what's going on. In fact, I had recently talked to him in the past hour, so I guess we'll find out what's going on with Gino. And man, it's been pretty impressive though, as right here climbing the charts, the 29 of Aaron Giffen. Looks like he might have some draft of Mason Sue. Oh no, that's not Sue. Whose truck is that? Oh, it's Garrett A. White. Or no, Benjamin A. White. They both have a middle initial of A and then White in their last name, so it's interesting here. But they've got a little bit of a pack going up here. So these guys are climbing the charts a little bit in speed, as that pack is being led by Visconti. Oh, yeah, there we go. Garrett A. White, he's right there with Christian Visconti. Garrett A. White, he actually just recently got into Nova Sim Racing, but I believe he's finishing out this last race as part of Fry Design, or excuse me, not Fry Designs Racing, Fox Motorsports, as he kind of bids himself a little bit of a farewell there. He won last week at Nashville, and Garrett unfortunately just barely missed out on the Final Four. So I can't really imagine his feelings right now if Gino Mero just doesn't show up. I mean, I'm really still confused what's going on there. Man, these guys pack racing here in qualify or practice, excuse me, as Garrett A. White goes up into the wall. Luckily, these virtual race cars, you don't have to pay the damage bill, because, oh man, these things would be very, very painful in terms of the hits to the wallet. I'm taking a look here at practice, and I mean, I'm just looking at some of the laps these guys have ran. Christian Visconti is on his 31st lap. He's really put himself in a good position here. And one thing I've noticed is I would say practice is probably the most keen thing here. As I've seen a couple of times, guys will come out here, they won't practice for races, and then they just run in the back. So honestly, just taking a look here at these guys, what they've accomplished here, just qualifying alone. Christian Visconti, he's really put down some laps here today. Aaron Giffen, he's put in some good laps as well. Paul Granata, he's put in some laps, but I feel like he's kind of wrecked for some of those, as we've seen him wreck a couple of times. And right there, we see Garrett A. White get loose right there, but just watch this practice session. You can already see the track is starting to get darker. That daylight is starting to get hidden a little bit behind those mountains right there, behind this racetrack. So, I mean, once this thing gets night, it's going to be a little bit of a different animal. And I think the important thing for these guys to know is they have to, they have two different setups here. So the way iRacing sets things up, you can set up a qualifying setup and you can set up a race setup, two different setups despite being a fixed setup session. So for our fixed setup session, we made the qualifying setup the day setup here, which obviously is going to be designed for the sun being out a little bit more, which I felt was a little bit more fitting because the sun will still technically be out while we're qualifying. As you see here, we've only got about a minute and a half left in this thing, so definitely will be there. But then they're going to run the night setup. So at first, that night setup, it's not going to feel quite right because the sun's still going to be out a little bit. But as the race goes on, as it gets darker here in Las Vegas, I think things are going to look really good. And man, a minute left. We are still not sure where Gino Mero is, and we're trying to figure it out. Oh man, big crash here in practice. As just kind of letting these guys finish out their practice real quick. All right, boys, we're going in to qualifying here at Las Vegas, and this is going to be a very, very crucial step to seeing who makes it in. And I'm still confused as to where Gino Mero is. Like, I really don't know. We're still trying to figure out where Gino Mero is. We have no clue where the driver of the 71 is, whether he's asleep or not, but so here we see Paul Granata going out there to qualify. Man, I really don't know what to expect here from these guys in qualifying, so let's see how Paul gets it done here. He's winding the top side of the racetrack here, so we'll see if he rolls the top in his first lap. Looks like no, he'll go back down to the bottom here. So, these aren't actual lap times from these guys, so Or actually, Christian Visconti's might be. Oh no, John Cannizzaro, P1 on the board. Oh, Benjamin A. White will take P1 here. Trying to see here, Paul Granata and Christian Visconti. Looks like Visconti's furthest ahead here, so we'll see what kind of a lap he puts down. They're rolling the top side here, so they're trying to bring in as much speed as they can here, making sure things are going good. As Christian Visconti, looks like he's 4th right now. In fact, it looks like he tied with Blake Kennedy. Oh my goodness, they tied with each other here. Oh, Kennedy and Visconti go way far down the charts here. As Paul Granata, P3, what a run for that 04. He's down to P4 now, but still, good run for him. Man, Christian Visconti, he takes the pole here. Oh, Christian loses the pole. But he's able to beat out Paul Granata there last second. Looks like Blake, he did not quite improve on his lap. So it looks like we're going to have 3 contenders here for the championship. Gino Mero is not here right now. Looks like we have a driver on track still, potentially. Ryan Martin. Yep, looks like Ryan Martin is finishing out his laps here. Oh, Martin 6th on the charts. He'll pass Spats and White here, as I don't think Spats or White really got that good of a qualifying run here. Take a look here. Mason Suit, he's on track. He's trying to put down some laps here, as he runs the middle of the track here through 3 and 4. And for Suit's first time lap, we'll see that 56 go P10. Not a really good run there. I wonder if it's just because of the line he was running here. Yeah, he goes right to the bottom there. Oh, he gets a little loose. Fishtails it a little bit. Man, Mason Suit. Decent run for him. He's up to P6 there on the charts. Looks like Benjamin Walker making his WORC debut. He's going to pull out here, run his first lap. He's P11 right now. He didn't get any practice time. He joined late in the session, so... Benjamin Walker. Let's see what kind of a lap he puts down there. P7 on the charts. He'll pass Ryan Martin, Spats, White, and Kennedy. Man, those guys just did not have good runs. I don't believe Jay Mulder's here, so we should have about 12 guys here for this one. All right, folks. Well, with qualifying being over, we'll go to the official grid here. Small field for today. These final 4 drivers are definitely loving that one. Or should I say final 3, because Gino Mero is not here. So we definitely know one of the guys who's not winning the championship, and it's going to come down to the 80, the 04, and man, I can't believe it. All right, Garrett A. White, he got the pole here today. Christian Visconti, the first of your 3 championship contenders, is going to line up P2. Paul Granata P3 right behind him there. He's got that inside line, so that's going to be good for him, a good advantage for him. As John Cannizzaro P4, Jake Fluman P5, Mason Suit P6, Benjamin Walker 7th, Ryan Martin 8th, and then we have Timmy Spats 9th, Benjamin A. White 10th, Blake Kennedy, he's got to climb through the field a little bit. He'll be 11th. Jay Mulder, if he's here, is going to be 12th. Aaron Giffen 13th. As we'll see if all these guys grid. It looks like everyone besides Jay Mulder has gridded, so we'll see if Jay is going to race or not. Well, this is it. Championship race, the smallest field we've had all season, and probably the most culturally appropriate small field that we've had. Let's get into some of the details, folks, as, well, Track info here, Las Vegas, 1.5 mile D oval, located in Las Vegas, Nevada, right next to the Air Force Base. I want to say it's the Nellis Air Force Base. I'm not 100% sure on that name. At an altitude of 1,955 feet. Weather for tonight, absolutely beautiful here. 70-degree track temp, 6 to 8 degree temperatures period. A little bit of wind there, 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy skies. 0% humidity. There's no humidity in Las Vegas. Race info for tonight, 100 laps, 152 miles. Average lap time about 31 seconds here. For the last time these guys will make an initial pace lap, that iRacing Ford Mustang pace car will drop these guys down. And for some of these guys, this is their last pace lap of the season. Depends on if anybody wrecks. As we have several drivers here just looking to put some laps in, make things count. As Christian Visconti will lead the final 4 guys to the green, but the main guy who will be leading us all to the green, that 26 Chevrolet Silverado Clemson colors on that thing. Garrett A. White in that 26 machine. JP Designs, Mr. Ocean Seam 382 all over that truck, as Mr. Ocean Seam 382 is all over a lot of these trucks here. Coming to the green flag. Here we go. Championship racing under the lights here in Las Vegas. And off we go. As Paul Granata, what a restart for him. He is able to pull in line there. He's going to get P2. And that'll put him second, or leading the championship 3 right now, as these guys are still side by side up here, as they're all going to try to fit themselves in line. Blake Kennedy a little bit further back in that 75. Keep an eye on him to try to drive himself through this field, as leading this race early on. Looks like Garrett A. White will be the man, as they're 3 wide for a moment there. Jake Fluman peeked to the inside of Visconti, decided better of it and backed off. And lap number 1 will be led by Garrett A. White, with Paul Granata in tow. The 04 leading the championship race here. It's just 1 lap in, but man, oh man, am I already excited for this one here. As John Cannizzaro, he's fighting pretty solid on that outside line right now. He's actually got a good run. He's going to get up to Garrett A. White. He's going to have his draft down the back straightaway. Christian Visconti, he's going to take a move to the outside. Mason Suit's going to cut to his inside here, as Visconti saw Cannizzaro go by, and he thought, man, that line, that looks pretty fast. Cannizzaro's going to get in line here, P2 behind Garrett A. White, and we'll see what happens with John Cannizzaro here in that 17. As we'll see what kind of a move he makes. He goes to the outside of White. White's going to pinch him off. They're 3 wide back here. Suit, Granata, and Visconti. We'll see who backs out of it. Oh, Granata, he gets really close right there to Christian Visconti. Can't quite get anything done, though. And they'll get in line. Christian Visconti will now lead the championship contenders. And don't look too far back. Blake Kennedy, he's right there behind these guys, as everyone fighting hard for the championship here. John Cannizzaro, Garrett A. White side by side, though. They're fighting hard for the race win, as that 17, he's going to clear Garrett A. White right here, and John Cannizzaro will go to the lead. Christian Visconti on the outside line. He's looking pretty nifty here, pretty quick early on. So is Paul Granata here. Oh, Garrett A. White washes up a little bit. He has to get out of the gas. Paul Granata backs out of it a little bit. They're 3 wide back here, 4 wide almost, as they're still 3 wide. Garrett A. White and Mason Suit, along with Jake Fluman right there. Blake Kennedy, he's going to go down to the inside here. He's going to try to find that gap, as they're still 3 wide right here. Racing tight, and Garrett A. White finds himself in a really bad position there, as he goes from the leader outside of the top 5. There's some really hard racing going on here between these guys. As Blake Kennedy, he'll clear Garrett A. White for now, as Garrett A. White falls pretty far back. Back up front, looks like John Cannizzaro is pulling away for the moment here. Christian Visconti P2, Granata 3rd, Mason Suit 4th, Jake Fluman and Blake Kennedy side by side here for P5, as Kennedy has worked his way up through the field. Not sure how hard he's burning off those tires here, but early on, Kennedy looking to make a statement here that he just had a bad qualifying run. He is definitely here on race pace in that 75. And up here for P2, Paul Granata, he dives to the inside. He's inside of Mason Suit right there. And Christian Visconti kind of throws a meager block right there. I'm not quite sure if that's going to pan out with anything here. As actually Mason Suit is all over the back bumper of Visconti, and he'll actually clear Granata here, as Mason Suit trying to make a charge to the front in that 56. As John Cannizzaro has pulled away to about a half-second lead. Mason Suit now, he goes to the inside of Christian Visconti, as Visconti's been working that top side in. And Paul Granata, he goes to the inside now, but he's got a little bit of contest from Jake Fluman. Fluman coming by on the outside there in that 22 Whiskey Oval TV Toyota Tundra. And we'll see what kind of a move Jake Flumen looks to make here, as you've got to look and see what do these non-playoff guys do. They're racing with these Final Four contenders. How aggressive do they run? Well, Jake Flumen, he dives it in really deep there. In fact, he's going to get way to the inside of Mason's suit. And Jake Flumen is working his way through the field here as he's going to try to make something go here. And that 22, as he moves himself up into P2, but he's not quite clear of it yet. He's still got Mason's suit rolling in on the outside line. Christian Visconti, Paul Granata still side by side right here for P4 and for the championship lead at the moment, as these guys have Blake Kennedy right there. And oh, Aaron Giffen, he's in the wall back here right next to Garrett A. White. It looks like Giffen will still clear White, so interesting move there as these guys side by side for the championship lead. Visconti may have burned off his tires early here, rolling that outside. And these guys, they only have 2 tire changes, so it's going to be down to a huge tire strategy here. And we'll see what happens as Paul Granata and Blake Kennedy and Christian Visconti, your 3 championship contenders, they're right here racing each other hard. Oh, man. Side by side leaning on each other's doors. They're all 3 different manufacturers, too. I think that's kind of interesting there. Right now, the Chevy's leading it here as Christian Visconti will clear Paul Granata. Blake Kennedy will fit himself in line right here behind Granata. And Aaron Giffen right there behind Kennedy will line himself up. It looks like Benjamin Walker and Garrett A. White as well right behind, as these guys are being pretty racy. A little bit further back, there's Timmy Spatz, Benjamin A. White, and Ryan Martin. As Jay Mulder, he's retired from the race here. Early on, Canizaro, though, he's been the man on a mission, leading the most of the laps here early on. But right there, Canizaro, he runs like the middle lane, and Jake Flumen is actually catching him right now. I'm not sure if Flumen is burning his stuff up or what, but Mason Suit is also right there with those guys. As back here, the battle still kind of wages on for a moment here, as they're all trying to wage war right now for that championship lead, as Visconti holds it for the moment here. And man, look at the line Jake Flumen runs. He looks really competitive here early on in that 22 truck, as he runs a little bit of a lower line. He's going to try to get in line here with John Canizaro, and we'll see what happens here when he gets the draft. He dives down to the inside of Canizaro, and we'll see what kind of a run he gets off corner exit, as right now Canizaro, he's holding strong right there. He runs kind of the middle line. Oh, Flumen goes into the grass. Well, I guess he tried to undercut it a little too much there. I'm not 100% sure what was going on there, but Flumen, he kind of put it in the grass. Now he kind of overdrives the exit of the corner there, gets tight. Now he's pulling himself down to the apron. I think the 22 might be pulling off here. Not sure if he has a wheel issue or something that may be happening, but that 22, he's going to pull off the racetrack here, and it looks like Jake Flumen will no longer be on the racetrack. Oh, yeah, he's on pit road now, so not sure if a wheel issue came up with the 22. Maybe that's why he kind of lost his grip a little bit, but they're still dueling it out back here between Granata and Visconti. They've been kind of going at it all race. For the moment, they kind of backed off of each other a little bit here, but in the long run, I know Paul Granata, him and I were talking earlier, and he was complaining about there's only 2 tire changes. You only get 3 sets of tires for this whole race. And I told him, well, Paul, if you just manage to save your stuff up, you should be rolling pretty good here. And, well, right now, Paul's not doing too bad. I mean, 13 laps into the run, though, 14 now. You definitely have to wait a little bit, be more patient, see how this is going to play out, how this will transpire, as Visconti and Kennedy, man, Kennedy, he started P11, pretty much last of everyone he started last of everyone who qualified, towards the back of the field here. And Kennedy, I mean, he worked his way up all the way to 5th, and right now he's on the back bumper of Paul Granata. I'm not sure if Blake's backing off a little bit, saving his stuff up, but that 75 truck, I expect him to be really strong here, and already he showed signs of being strong. But granted, he had to drive through the field a little bit. He may have burned his stuff up a little bit at that, so I mean, we'll see what happens here, but they're running different lines. It's weird to look at, but if you watch right here, watch Christian Visconti as it goes into this corner here in this 80 truck. He enters high, kind of arcs it down a little bit. He gets to that middle line, dips his tires slowly below that little groove right there, and then comes right back up. He doesn't really get down to the white line. But Paul Granata, I'm noticing, him and Blake Kennedy, they run different lines as well. Granata, he enters a little bit more shallow than Visconti, about a lane down, and then Granata kind of rolls the middle of the track a little bit there. Blake Kennedy, he rolls the bottom. So these guys are all running different lines. And right now, Mason Suit, I think he burned his stuff off there in that 56, because it's not looking too good for him. he lost quite a bit of ground to John Cannizzaro. It was Cannizzaro, man. He got caught by Jake Fluman, but Fluman had whatever was going on with him there. And Cannizzaro decided that he's going to lead this race. He's going to pull away, and he's going to lead quite a bit of this race. Cannizzaro narrowly lost the LMP2 championship in the sports car series. In the dirt championship, John got himself a nice little top 3 points position there. He had a good season there in the dirt late model tour, missed a couple of races, but here in the truck series, he's ran quite a few races, and he actually had an opportunity to make the playoffs late in the season. Unfortunately, though, John just wasn't able to pull it together, and so he's just kind of here racing free roam. And that 17 is looking pretty quick here early on, as he's led a majority of the laps so far. I think he's led all but the first 2 or 3. But right now, I mean, Mason Sue, he got caught by Visconti, and Paul Granata, he runs way wide there. Not sure what's going on with him, but I believe Blake Kennedy may have been looking to make a move there and just possibly backed off for a moment. Not 100% sure, but Kennedy trails Granata here for the moment, and Christian Visconti, he's in the draft of Mason Sue, and he is thriving right now, rolling P3 here, and man, they look pretty quick here as Cannizzaro, his times have fallen off pretty significantly here. He went from about a half a second lead on Mason Suit to just 3/10 here, as Suit and Visconti seem to be pulling, and Visconti's going to get the wall a little bit there. Pushes it a little too aggressively off exit. And man, all these Blue Banner playoff drivers, it's interesting to me that they find themselves 3, 4, 5. As I honestly didn't know if it would come to that point. I didn't know how close these guys would be. I didn't know how good the battling was going to be, but it's been some pretty significant battling early on here. As look back here at this train of trucks right here, some really good racing here in this backpack here, as Timmy Spatz, he's last place on the track in terms of guys who are still left, but I mean, he's right there behind Benjamin Walker. Benjamin Walker, he's kind of lagging back. He's making his first start. He said, you know what, I'm just going to kind of back off a little bit. Don't want to make any bad impressions on you guys. And Benjamin A. White right here, he's right behind Aaron Giffen. Giffen's behind Garrett A. White. And, I mean, they're not too far back off of these guys. As, oh, for P2. I'm not sure if something happened, but they lost quite a bit of ground to John Cannizzaro. And the championship contenders closed quite a bit of ground to Mason Sue. And Blake Kennedy is trying to take advantage of it on the bottom here, but I think Granata's going to get that run, and he does. I'm really not 100% sure what Mason Sue was doing. I don't see any damage to Visconti's truck, so I'm really not 100% sure what happened. But Cannizzaro gained about a second of time right there with whatever was happening. And Granata and Kennedy, they weren't that close to Visconti before, so I gotta keep a better eye on these guys, I guess, because they're doing some crazy stuff up here. As Kennedy, he sweeps it really wide there. He's gonna try to arc his corner back down off exit, but I'm really not sure what Kennedy's goal is here. Oh, Aaron Giffen, he gets the wall back here. Or it looks like Benjamin A. White as well. Benjamin A. White in the 4 has quite a bit of damage. I think he smacked the wall. As he's still on track here. I don't believe he's pulling off, so he's gonna hold on to it. As he's battling with Timmy Spatz back here. Meanwhile, right here, Paul Granata, Blake Kennedy. Kennedy goes to the inside. He gets to Granata's left rear. And Granata's going to pull high here. Suit comes down on Kennedy. Not sure what they're doing right here. Suit, he might be trying to get out of their way. As it looks like that's what he's doing here. As they're side by side here for P3. Kennedy dives it in a lot deeper. And Granata may have killed his tires here in that 04. As he's losing position of Kennedy here. And Christian Visconti, he's pulled away quite a bit there in that 80 truck as he continues to lead this one. Blake Kennedy P2, Paul Granata P3. Man, Mason Suit, he was running up there for a little bit. He looked pretty quick. I'm not sure. I believe he burned his stuff off as well. And Garrett A. White, he was the leader early on. He was the pole winner. He has some right front damage, and he kind of got put in a sucker hole, and it really hurt him there. And a little bit further back, we've got a little bit of a train of cars, trucks here, as Benjamin A. White really trying to hold on with that damage, trying to wait it out and see what happens here with these guys. As Benjamin Walker is going to go to his inside here, and it looks like Benjamin Walker might be on the move here. As man, Benjamin A. White, he is struggling here with that damage, and that's really going to hurt him here as this race goes on. As Christian Visconti, he's gaining quite a bit of time here to John Cannizzaro. I'm not sure if he's pushing a little bit harder or if Cannizzaro's falling off a little bit more, but Canizaro doing a great job here leading this one as we're 25% of the way through. 75 laps left in this one here. And, well, early on, our 3 championship contenders, they're doing a good job just keeping themselves up towards the front, putting themselves in good positions here. As Garrett A. White, he's got a little bit of a run here on Mason Suit. I'm interested to see what transpires here out of this one. As Mason Suit, he dives way down to the inside there. He rolls that white line. And Garrett A. White, he's going to get himself a really good run here off corner exit here. And we'll see if Garrett A. White, how he attacks Mason Suit. As Suit just really didn't get a good exit off here. As at 56, he just looks really slow there. Just got a really bad exit there, and I'm not sure if maybe he's backing off a little bit more or what, but Suit, he's going to give up that position to Garrett A. White. As for the moment back up here, Visconti still is championship contenders. Kennedy is second, Granata's third. Looking through the field here. Man, Benjamin A. White, he finally decided to pull it in pit road. That damage got to be a little too much for that 4 truck here. As Visconti's done a great job pacing himself here. But Blake Kennedy, he's actually gaining on Visconti right now. I'm not sure if that's because Visconti's saving or if Blake's stuff is just better right now. But that 75 truck, he looks to be pretty quick here. So we'll see what happens here with Blake Kennedy. A bad qualifying run. He had to drive himself through these guys, but he's doing a great job at saving right now. And Kennedy, interestingly enough, of the championship contenders, he had the lowest iRating. Came into this with a 2,573 iRating. But I guess, I mean, I'm one of the guys who argues iRating is just a number here on the iRacing service. And if you aren't familiar with it, iRating basically means the better you finish, the higher your iRating gets, and the better competition you face, really. The higher the iRating, the better you are. And so I guess iRating, though, it's just a number when it comes to some of these league racers. Back here, looks like for P4 we might have Garrett A. White coming on with a little bit of a run here. Well, the battling has kind of shifted its way away for the moment here, but it's been pretty good right here with Garrett White trying to catch Paul Granata. One thing I'm noticing here is Christian Visconti. He's gained quite a bit on John Cannizzaro here. He's closed it to about 2/10 as Visconti slowly starts to reel in the leader. And at first, Kennedy, he looked like he was a little bit quicker than Visconti, but at the moment here, Kennedy is falling back to about 6/10 behind Visconti, and we might see Visconti get enough of a run here that he can catch John Cannizzaro here, and Visconti could lead this race here. As we watch Visconti right here, he closes a little bit more to the back bumper of John Cannizzaro. And he's definitely going to be there. So Cannizzaro, he's kind of falling off here 36 laps into this thing. And Christian Visconti in that 80 truck looking to cement himself as the leader here. If he can get by Cannizzaro here, you know, you've got dirty air. So that could be a big factor here in if Visconti is able to get to Cannizzaro or not. As Visconti goes below the apron there as he tries to make a move. And he's been running that top side too, so I'm interested, you know, how his tires haven't burned off yet, because normally you run the bottom here to save those tires up, and right now, I mean, Visconti, he's been rolling the top side here, and I mean, Cannizzaro, he's been rolling the top the whole race as well, so Blake Kennedy, who kind of runs the bottom a little bit, I mean, he's not done too bad here in this one. Obviously, he's moved himself all the way up to P3 as Garrett White has gone by Paul Granata here. That was kind of a sudden movement too. Granata lost a little bit of time as Granata has completely burned his stuff off here. And the whole tire strategy thing probably not playing in Granata's favor, because that 04, oh man, he's just struggling here. As a little bit further back, Timmy Spatz and Mason Suit. Suit has lost tons of time here in this one as he really burned his stuff off early on. Looks like Aaron Giffen, oh, Giffen, he's got some right front damage. Benjamin Walker is rolling in P10 right behind him. As back up front, we still see Christian Visconti. He's trying to make something happen here to John Cannizzaro. Man, Visconti, he runs a little bit of a better line. He's in his draft. I really wonder if that dirty air has just really coincidentally made it harder for that 80 truck to get by him here, as he definitely looks to be the faster truck. I mean, the gap that he just closed on Cannizzaro was pretty tight. So he's just looking to work his way around here. And, man, Blake Kennedy, he's slowly catching in the background. You just see him there. He's kind of just lurking in the background, just chilling out there, taking his time. As Kennedy and Visconti, here on this longer run, they've done themselves an excellent job as Visconti all over the back bumper of Cannizzaro. He's not really going to push that issue there. He knows he just has to be calm here. He can't wreck himself. He can't, you know, he can't do anything drastic that will hurt his championship chances. In the long run, this 80 truck, he knows he's got the leader right here. He knows he's faster as well, but he knows he has to be calm to run for the championship. He knows that he has to back it down a little bit. As, I mean, he makes this move to the inside right here. It doesn't work for the moment, but that's okay. He knows he can be patient right now. He just knows that he has to be slightly urgent, because that 75 truck is coming right behind him, and Kennedy's closing pretty quickly here. So Visconti, he's definitely probably frustrated with that 17 right now. He goes, hey, look, John, I'm faster. Please let me by. As right here, John throws a little subtle block right there. Visconti gets to his inside once again, but I don't know if it's going to work here. The outside line just seems to be so much better when battling side by side. Ooh, maybe not Visconti. He's actually going to stay there down the back straightaway, side by side for the lead. First battle for the lead we've seen since early in the race, as Visconti, he backs it down one last time. As Blake Kennedy begins to close in here, and we might have a 3-truck battle, and something has happened to Garrett White. He has tons of damage. And I'm going to pull up the WORC replay real quick here. Let's go see what happened to Garrett White, because he was running up in that top 5. Oh, Garrett White, he pit. Okay. Never mind. We're going to pull the WORC replay off for now. As back up front, 3-truck battle now for the lead here, as Kennedy's come on strong here and the past few laps, and Visconti, he's just kind of riding behind Cannizzaro right now. Kennedy, I'm not sure what kind of moves he's going to look to make here, but Man, these two being teammates and running 1-2 in the championship race. It's pretty incredible here to see. I mean, what do these guys do? How hard do they race each other? I mean, it's lap 44. You're about halfway in this one, so obviously these guys have planned for the long haul, and that's gonna be the important thing here. Is John Cannizzaro? I feel like he's slowing these guys up a lot right now, actually. I mean, the amount of laps that Visconti has simply just been faster than Cannizzaro, but can't quite get by him. And right here, Visconti will finally get to the outside of Cannizzaro. And we'll see if it works out for him here as he runs a little wide there through the corner. Coming off exit, though, he's going to get the run, and Visconti may finally be able to get to the lead here. As Cannizzaro may have dropped to the bottom, I believe he might be pitting here. So we'll see what happens here as Visconti will clear Cannizzaro. And Cannizzaro appears to be backing down. He's coming down to pit. So that's 17. He finally relinquishes the lead as he comes down to pit. Guy I'm really going to look for here, Paul Granata. He comes down to pit road. He's the first championship driver to come down to pit here. So 46 laps into this one. And Granata has come down for his first pit stop. So he's not trying to split it 50-50 here. And Garrett A. White, he pit pretty early on. Tried to really short pit these guys. And looks like several other drivers have pit as well. Timmy Spatz has pit. Looks like Benjamin Walker, he may have had an issue. He is retired from the race here. So he's not even on the racetrack here. Looks like Timmy Spatz is 2 laps down. He may have had a spin of some sort that didn't get called for a yellow. Garrett A. White, he's quite a bit back. John Cannizzaro. Oh man, all these guys. So right now we have 5 drivers who've stayed out besides Visconti and Kennedy. That's Ryan Martin here in P3. We saw him on some field strategy get his best ever WORC finish, a P2 back at Atlanta. So that 9, he really could be trying to use the strategy to his advantage. He's shown that he's very good at using strategy to his advantage. Mason Sue, who burned his stuff off kind of early, he might be trying to make sure he gets a shorter run here for the second half of this race. And Aaron Giffen as well, he's also staying out here, as all 3 Outlaw Racing trucks in this event seem like they're kind of on the same strategy here, as Christian Visconti leads some laps early on here. And man, Blake Kennedy, he got really close to Visconti, and I honestly think Visconti getting held up by Cannizzaro, I think honestly Kennedy, just the way he caught them, sure, he may have caught them because of the fact Cannizzaro was holding up Visconti, but I think Kennedy was also faster than Cannizzaro there. As looks back here, Aaron Giffen has come down to pit road on that 29 machine. Looks like Ryan Martin as well will be coming down this time by. So Mason Suit, Kennedy, and Visconti all stay out, and Visconti, he had quite a bit of practice here getting to utilize this fuel run here into the 80 truck. He pulls down to the inside here. He's probably coming to pit this time. So trying to split this thing about halfway. This is probably as close as they can get, and they might have to save fuel here as they come down to pit road. Check your speed, boys. Ooh, Kennedy. What an entry to pit road. They're side by side here on pit road. Oh, Kennedy is lucky he has that earlier pit stall. Or I guess Visconti's lucky that Kennedy has that earlier pit stall, because things would not be in the 80 truck's favor right now if it was anything else. As Kennedy will come down to pit, Visconti will come down to pit. Mason Sue, he stayed it out. So he's definitely splitting this thing 50-50 at least. As that 56, he may have backed off actually just to save fuel, as I imagine that's the big thing he's doing here. So looks like that 56, he'll back her down. He'll come in this time, so he gets to lead himself a lap. And the guy who last pit, Garrett A. White, or excuse me, guy who first pit, Garrett A. White, he pit quite a bit before these guys. And I'm not sure what his strategy is here. As Paul Granata, he also pit pretty early here. He's under fire right now from John Cannizzaro, as I believe Cannizzaro pit about a lap or 2 after Granata. So through the green flag cycle here, we only have 7 trucks on the lead lap somehow. That's pretty crazy, as Timmy Spatz, he had a lot of damage. And Aaron Giffen, he is a lap down. Oh no, Aaron Giffen's back on the lead lap now. Alright, so everyone is good. Mason Suit's down pit road now. Paul Granata is P2 at the moment, but I don't expect it to last too long. He's got Cannizzaro breathing down his neck right here. And Cannizzaro, he'll definitely race Granata with some respect, being a Final Four contender, but I don't quite know how that's going to go. As Garrett A. White, he led early on. He kind of lost a little bit of position. He short pits, and now he's back out up front after winning that pole. And Blake Kennedy, he got by Visconti coming off of pit road. So looks like Kennedy, I don't know if he's pushing it a lot harder than Visconti or what, but the 75, he led those guys off of pit road, and he now looks to make a surge to Paul Granata here, as this is kind of the best battle on track right now at the moment. But right here, I expect to see Visconti and Kennedy being teammates work together a little bit here, try to catch the field, but I expect Visconti to try to take advantage maybe and save his stuff behind Kennedy. Honestly, I don't really know how aggressive these guys will be as we've gotten to the halfway point. Ryan Martin, he's stacked himself up P6. And Mason Suit, he lost himself a ton of time there, staying out as long as he did. But, I mean, maybe it'll pay off in his favor here late in this one. Man, I mean, the way this pit strategy has gone, Cannizzaro, he's lost quite a bit of time here to Paul Granata. His Granata, I don't know if he turned on the jets or what, but that 04 is pulling away here. As Garrett A. White, he's got an 8-second lead right now, so short pitting at the moment has worked into his advantage, but he pit about, I mean, he pit 13 laps ago. So Garrett A. White, I believe he pit, yeah, like right about lap 40. So, I mean, he's got 6 lap older stuff than Granata and Cannizzaro. He's got 10 lap older stuff than Kennedy and Visconti. So those are going to be some guys to look out for because, I mean, Garrett A. White, he may have to pit again. I mean, I don't know what the fuel run is here, if short pitting is really going to pay off in his favor. But you've also got to consider tire wear. That 10 laps of tire wear, that's going to mean a lot here. And Paul Granata, he's already starting to gain quite a bit of time here as he's back in the championship lead. He led it early on, ended up kind of giving up on that battle with Visconti, and now for the moment, Granata, he's solidified himself P2. He's able to hold on to that position over John Cannizzaro for the moment. As back here, looks like a lap truck, Timmy Spatz, was in the way a little bit there. As Visconti and Kennedy, I don't believe they're trying to battle each other. I really think Visconti, he's one of the smartest drivers in the field. Him and Kennedy each, I mean, they're very smart drivers. Unfortunately, I know that that lack of a race win, it really has kind of been kind of a gray cloud over Visconti's head. He knows he's been very quick this season. He knows he rightfully deserves to be here in this Final Four. He's definitely proven himself to be quick. I mean, he's had several podium finishes here. I mean, I say that because I just remember interviewing him several times this season. He's come close to a couple of wins. He was going for the lead at Michigan before he got turned by Jay Mulder. I mean, that 80 truck, he was also P2 at Chicagoland. He finished P3 at Charlotte after being up there late in that race. I mean, that's just off the top of my head. He was leading going into 3 and 4 at iRacing Super Speedway. He was leading coming to the Trioval at Talladega. This 80 truck, he's been so close to winning, and it just hasn't quite transpired for him yet. And I know that 80 truck, he definitely is looking for it. And after season 1, a lot of people, they were looking at Jay Mulder. He was the only guy in that Final Four who had not won a race, but he won that championship. He had a whole different strategy than those guys. Every other championship contender had qualified for that race except for Jay Mulder. And Mulder won that championship. And people kind of said, you know what, Jay, it's I used to use a term that modern kids use, so if you're a little bit older, you may not understand this term. People nowadays have been using Mickey Mouse as a term. It just basically means that it was kind of weak. It wasn't really deserved. People said Jay Mulder, he had himself a Mickey Mouse championship. So Jay, I kind of hurt him too because Jay this season, he came out, he proved himself. He's a very fast driver. He was top 5 every week. Jay was definitely one of the most competitive guys week in and week out. But the fact that, I mean, Visconti, he doesn't have a win this season. If he wins this championship, I mean, it might be time to start looking at championships as championships that are won over the season. Despite this playoff format that has proven kind of the win and in scenario, you have to take a look and say, well, these guys are winning their championships without race wins on the season. Does consistency play that much of a factor here? Is consistency that key? Visconti, he has the most top 5s of everyone in the championship field right now. Visconti actually, I believe he has the most top 5s throughout the entire season. In fact, let me bring that up real quick. Let's check here. Yep, Christian Visconti, Garrett A. White, Clayton Ramstead, Joe Burgy are all tied for the most top fives this season. So shout out to our race leader right now, Garrett A. White as well. So all those guys, they've proven themselves. Consistency is key, but only one of those guys is in this Final Four, and that's Christian Visconti. And the reason why is because out of all of those guys, well, Visconti, he has the most top 10s. That's why he's here, and that's why those other guys aren't. And I think that's a crucial thing for us to be looking at here is that Visconti, he has done himself an absolutely miraculous job consistently here. And I mean, he's right here on Blake Kennedy's back bumper. Blake has done himself a good job as well. But if Visconti in that 80 pulls out the championship, or just the fact that he made the Final Four, I think it should be respected if the champion doesn't win a race, because they made it here without winning a race. They didn't need to win a race to make it here. They were that consistently good. But a guy who, he had his win very early on in the season. That's right here, this 04, Paul Granata. He won so much earlier in the season than everyone else. He won the first race of the season. But this 04, I said it, he's been clutch, he's been the closer. And we come into a tire strategy race right here. Well, Paul's running P2, and he's closing the gap to Garrett A. White. Paul might lead some laps here in this one, and it'd honestly be pretty fitting if he did. I think Granata, he's been a guy who has definitely been a contender week in and week out. He's one of WORC's original guys. He's one of WORC's most dedicated guys. In fact, Paul, he's very high on that WORC starts list. I think he's only behind Ryan Martin, Jay Mulder, and Henry Klappert, if I remember correctly, in terms of starts. In fact, yeah, I can confirm that. Yep, Granata is only behind Mulder, Ryan Martin, and Henry Klappert in terms of starts and WORC. So he's definitely one of our Iron Men, and he's done a great job of it. I think Paul, he really deserves a championship. He's got himself a few WORC wins, but a championship would really hold him steady as one of the premier drivers of this series. And I think that 04, he gets it done. I really truly think that he's a man on a mission. He's absolutely fantastic, and he's put himself in a championship position, and he's reeling in Garrett A. White right now, actually, as a little bit of a battle here for P4. Blake Kennedy is slow on the inside. Christian Visconti will go by him here. And Ryan Martin, I believe he was caught, or is he passing them? I believe Ryan Martin just passed them. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember Ryan Martin being up here. Well, Christian Visconti goes to Ryan Martin's inside, so Ryan Martin may have been fourth, and I just didn't notice it. But that caused Blake Kennedy to lose that position. And, man, Ryan Martin, he's on the top side now. I guess Ryan Martin was fourth, and I just completely didn't notice that. I feel kind of bad about that one now. John Cannizzaro, he's kind of just put himself P3 on his own, but he's kind of getting reeled in here. There's Visconti. He's got himself a run, and wow. As Aaron Giffen, lap truck, he'll pull down to the apron. He knows those are his two teammates behind him, and he knows they're fighting for a championship, so Giffen definitely doesn't want to put himself in that mix. As Visconti and Kennedy, they're starting to run down John Cannizzaro here as the laps start to wind down. They're on lap 69. Do we see some urgency here out of the 80 and 75 yet? Do we see some patience out of them? As we take a look here, mid-race update, 32 laps left. No cautions in this race. These guys have kept it very clean. And just a mere 4 lead changes here. As Garrett A. White, he leads, but Paul Granata, he has closed the gap from over 8 seconds. It's down to 2.7 now, and I told you guys, those 10-lap extra tires were going to really hurt Garrett A. White in terms of Christian Visconti and Blake Kennedy. But we're looking at Paul Granata. He only has 6-lap younger tires than Garrett A. White, or 5-lap, excuse me. He only has 5-lap younger tires than Garrett A. White, and Granata has gained massively. So tire wear here is huge. And honestly, I don't know if White, he might be saving fuel as well with how early he pit. I can't really tell you here, but What I do know is that Visconti and Kennedy, I expect these guys to work together, move through the field, and if they're drafting with each other, that could be huge here. These guys could pull away, as look at Kennedy, right to the back bumper. Visconti kind of backs off a little bit, and this could be a good championship battle here as we wind it down. As Granata, he's just 2.5 seconds behind Garrett White now. He is in sole control of that championship lead, and honestly, as time winds down, there becomes less laps on the board. If Granata can hold it here, we might see that 04 Rocket Racing Setups Nova Sim Racing Ford F-150 doing some burnouts here with either by himself or, I mean, I don't know if Garrett White can hold on, but we'll find out. As Cannizzaro, he's slowly being run down by Kennedy and Visconti. Time's ticking. Looks here like Visconti may get the draft of Cannizzaro. He actually runs a lower line right there. So we'll see how much of a thorn John Cannizzaro is to the side of Visconti and Kennedy as they're trying their best to get to Granada here. And Visconti, I don't know if he's backing off or what, but Kennedy just seems to be faster at the moment. Under 30 laps to go here. And Paul Granata. Oh, Garrett White has come down to pit. Garrett White could not make it all the way to the end. He short pits it again. Paul Granata is going to be the new leader in the 04. That's huge for this 80 and the 75. They have to get by John Cannizzaro quickly here. We'll see how nice Cannizzaro is to the final four. Or, I mean, Cannizzaro. Oh, he might be coming down to pit. Or maybe he's just running the inside. Maybe he just ran the inside right there. I'm overreacting a little bit here, but Garrett White, he's done getting serviced. And he's going to go a lap down, Paul Granata. He's leading here. I mean, if it comes down to a strategy call, honestly, I don't think I would have called it on the 04. But if Paul wins this race, man, absolutely incredible. Still quite a bit of time left in this race, though, as coming across the line here. 25 laps left, 3/4 of the way through this one. And these guys, man, John Cannizzaro, he's on those same tires that Granata's on. Visconti and Kennedy, they're trying to be patient here, but man, part of me wonders, as short as Garrett White pit, could he make it as far? I mean, these guys split it halfway. Mason's suit came down at lap 50. Did Mason's suit come down at lap 50 just because he stayed out long enough to outlast everyone else, or did he come down because he had to pit? Because if there's only 50 laps of fuel in these trucks, then man, I don't know. I'm interested to see what'll happen. But right now, Visconti kind of backs off of Cannizzaro a little bit, and I'm not sure I'm seeing that as a good move, because they're losing time to Granata. Granata is faster than Cannizzaro by quite a bit in that 04, and they're constantly losing time here. I think that 80 and the 75, they've got to be a little bit more urgent here. And if I'm Blake, if Christian ain't making that move by John, I'm telling Christian, I'm saying, look, man, you got to make that move now, or let me by so I can make the move, because it's go time. And so it's going to be up to Visconti here. He has to make this move soon, I feel like. They've already lost about a second of time to Granata just from riding behind Cannizzaro. And now they have Garrett White on fresh tires behind them. As Garrett White, man, look at what those fresh tires can do for you. As look at the run Garrett White gets as he goes to the inside of Cannizzaro. I'm not 100% sure if Cannizzaro was expecting that, but Visconti, he's going to try to get the draft a little bit here from Garrett White. It doesn't work. Cannizzaro's going to get the draft from Garrett White. And Christian Visconti, man, they've got to get by Cannizzaro here. Time is ticking down. And Cannizzaro's just holding these guys up right now. Paul Granata, he's out there 4.5 seconds over Cannizzaro. I mean, this is, I'm seriously not 100% sure. I'm seeing it right here from Visconti and Kennedy right now. They have to be urgent. There is 21 laps left in this race. I think you've got to get around Cannizzaro. You've got to push it a little bit here. And they're just not. And I don't know why. So we'll see what happens here. Visconti can get the runs on Cannizzaro, but he never really goes for the pass. So bumper to bumper here. Blake Kennedy, I mean, he's just waiting behind Visconti. And I'm still not sure why. I mean, they have lost quite a significant amount of time to Granata that they're going to have to make up in less laps now. As Visconti will get the run off the back straightaway here. Into 3 and 4. I just don't see it, man. No urgency. Paul Granata, he's got this thing on lock right now. 4.5 second lead over John Cannizzaro, and I told you guys, he's clutch, he's the closer. This 04, he comes into the final race, and he's looking to win it. And there's not enough time left on that clock, I think, for Visconti and Kennedy to catch Granata here. I don't see it happening. I think they waited behind Cannizzaro too long. Honestly, if I'm Cannizzaro, I don't know if I would have been in that position. I think I would have let the Final Four by. I'm trying to see a Final Four battle here. I'm trying to make things good. And I'm just kind of being a jerk being in the way, but sucks, man. I just don't know. I feel like they rode behind Cannizzaro too long here, and if they don't get by him here in the next 2-3 laps, I think they can probably kiss their championship chances away. I think Granata's got this in the bag. It's Paul Granata down the front straightaway here. I bet that new sponsor of his is going to be happy. Like I said, they just got that Rocket Racing setup sponsorship. And I'd say put it to good use here. Paul Granata right there, you see on the back bumper, it says use code Granata15 for a discount if you're looking for some setups there. I'm sure Paul was really going to try to help push that memo there. Get you guys to use this code 15% off at Rocket Racing setups. I might have to go use that code if he wins this championship, man. Go run some open series maybe. As Nova Sim Racing, they have put that 04 in a great position here. 16 laps left in this one. And I think it's over for Visconti and Kennedy personally. No time left in this race. I just don't see it. They didn't get by Cannizzaro in time. Oh, Cannizzaro pulls down the back straightaway here. Is he pitting? Or is he just letting them go? Looks like Cannizzaro's pitting. So, oh my god, Paul Granata pit. Alright, maybe all hope isn't lost here. These guys stretched it all the way till lap 49. And now they're 1-2. Can they make it to the end here? Can Visconti and Kennedy save enough to make it to the end here? Oh my goodness. I did not expect Granata to pit. I thought he could make it. He pit just 5 laps after Garrett White. Garrett White pit on lap 40. I mean, Granata, seeing that the field run is about 50 laps if you're like what Mason Suit, then oh my goodness. 13, or excuse me, 12 laps left in this one. Visconti and Kennedy up front. Ryan Martin right behind him in P3 actually. He's not too far back to make a move. Here comes Paul Granata. He's a lap down. He's marching to get his lap back here. As that 04, the decision that he definitely short pitted. If he made it 45 laps the first time around, I mean, he could have made it to lap 90 at least. So Granata short pitted there, seeing what he can get done here. But I think Visconti and Kennedy getting as close to halfway as they did the first time. This is the closest we're going to see our three contenders on track for the next 10 laps, I think. As Granata, he'll easily blow by, but now Granata, he has to make up an entire lap, about 31 seconds of time in the next 10 laps. He's going to have to pull at least 3 seconds a lap, or about, let me see if I do the math real quick here. It's about 2.5 seconds a lap. I mean, it's doable, but then Granata has to actually get by them, and that's another task in its own. So 41 laps into this run here. Visconti and Kennedy, they're definitely saving fuel a little bit. They can make it to the end here. I want to see what that 80 and 75 can save here. I thought staying behind John Cannizzaro was a big mistake. I thought Cannizzaro was blocking him in a little bit here. It turns out the whole race gets flipped upside down. Visconti and Kennedy may have been just hiding behind Cannizzaro all along because they knew this was going to happen. As right here, John Cannizzaro, he's going to go by on the inside here, get his lap back. Ryan Martin has come down to pit, so Martin could not make it all the way on fuel. So the only 3 trucks who stayed out this whole time are the 2 leaders and Aaron Giffen. Giffen is just trying to put something together here, but here's a lap down, so not sure how many positions he'll gain here. Man, it's honestly going to come down to the strategy here. As Kennedy, he backs off a little bit there to Visconti. So 6 laps to go here as they get to the line. These two, they've been bumper to bumper the entire time, it feels like. Blake Kennedy, he didn't have that good of a qualifying run, but he's put himself in a good position here. And I'm not sure if one of them is trying to outsave the other here. As Visconti, he pulls to the bottom. If Visconti has to pit, I think this race is over. Oh, he comes up in front of Kennedy. Maybe not. I think these guys, they have to back off a lot. They definitely have time to back off. They may not be able to win this race, to be honest. They may have to sacrifice this one to a very quick Garrett White, who's put himself on a great strategy up in P3. He's got 9 seconds on Paul Granata. So here's Granata. Granata is currently 23.5 seconds behind the leaders here, with just 5 laps left in this one. As they come through 3 and 4. Excuse me, I was 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway. These guys are saving hard. They were able to split it so close to halfway. But they just need to do a little bit more in a short amount of time to see if they can make it. So these guys are just going to race around the bottom here. I'm not 100% sure what this might come down to, but these guys are super slow. 3 laps to go. How much more fuel can these guys save? They made it 49 laps the first time around. They are 48 laps onto this stint of fuel here. As these two teammates working together here, trying to make it on fuel. 2 laps to go. Garrett A. White is 7 seconds back. They have plenty of breathing room here. 2 laps to go. I'm not sure if Blake can win this championship. He might be having to help Christian here. Paul Granata is 12 seconds behind them with 2 laps to go here. He has to gain quite a bit of time, but these guys are saving hard. Granata with a little bit of network issues here. Ooh, Granata, he's having some network issues here. As he goes to the inside of Mason's suit, Granata is having tons of network issues here. Oh my goodness, Granata is a Christmas tree here. Coming to the white flag. 1 more lap to go. Do they have enough fuel to make it? Visconti and Kennedy, this is not only the battle for the race win, but the battle for the championship. As they head through 1 and 2. Are they done saving? Are they going to race it out? Down the back straightaway they go. They're picking up speed for the championship and the race win. Kennedy to the outside of Visconti. This could be a mistake on Visconti's end. Coming off of turn 4, Christian Visconti's going to win. And not only the race, but the championship as well, as they run out of fuel coming to the line. Blake will push Christian across the line. And oh my goodness. A fuel run to the end. Christian Visconti's the champ. I think Blake may have just backed off and gave it to himself. But man, a little bit of congratulations from his teammate there in Kennedy. A little bit of congrats from Mason Suit here. John Cannizzaro, Paul Granata as well. Looks like Aaron Giffin's coming in. Everyone trying to give some congratulations to Visconti. Looks like Granata's trying to help him do some burnouts maybe. As Visconti, that was a pretty clean truck, but he doesn't have any fuel to do burnouts. I want to see if anybody tries to help him out here. That was one of the best strategies that we have seen all season. That kind of, I think that tops Ethan Workman's strategy back at Atlanta. I kind of messed up the race win call there. My apologies for that. I was trying to think of what to say in my head. It just didn't quite come out very well. But it looks like Mason Suit's going to push Visconti around. He's got some damage there on that truck, but I don't think he quite cares. I mean, that was a clean truck through and through the whole race. Garrett A. White, he comes around, gives his little congratulations there. As Christian Visconti, I said it, that dark cloud hanging over his head. He hadn't won a race yet. And Mason Suit, man, right here. Suit and Visconti. Suit turned Visconti. Race 1 at Daytona. There was a little bit of bad blood between them there. But Visconti, let's see how much fuel he has left in that tank, if he can burn it down. If any. Maybe not. I don't think he has anything in there. He might be trying to get somebody to help him do a burnout here. We'll see if he can cycle it through. I don't think he's going to get a burnout in, unfortunately, folks. We'll see here. Looks like everyone else is on pit road. So, oh, there's Paul Granata. He might be coming down to help him give a little bit of a burnout here. We'll see. Alright, folks. Well, unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure that we are going to be able to get that burnout in here. So, we are going to be right back here, folks. We're going to go to a commercial break real quick here. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back here on WORC TV.
We've been waiting for this moment. Generations of innovation all coming together in one place. A pedigree of more than 70 years of NASCAR Cup Series history, from the past to the present, from Petty to Earnhardt to Elliott. Today, there's no more waiting. The future of NASCAR is now. Drive the next-gen cars today on iRacing and step into the next generation of racing.
Welcome back, folks. Sorry, we had a little bit of technical error there. I'm not sure what happened there. I guess the commercial may have broken my computer. I guess those new NASCAR Next Gen cars, pretty good new development here. But Christian Visconti, let's see if we can pull him into the booth here. I said, hey man, maybe we'll talk to you after the race. Well, I said it to all those guys, I guess. But Visconti's here, man. Let's bring him in. Christian Visconti, you are in the WORC TV booth. Do you have a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. Happy I do.
Christian, that dark cloud was hung over your head. I said it multiple times during the broadcast. You didn't have a race win this season. You came in to this, and of the 3 guys left in the race fighting for the championship, you were the only one who didn't have a win. We saw what happened to Jay Mulder last year. He won that championship without a race win. People were like, Mickey Mouse championship. He didn't deserve it. But you came out here, you and Blake, your teammate, you guys played the perfect strategy. Stayed out, you split it pretty much halfway. At the end there, you guys were in hardcore save mode. How stressful was that situation for you here coming to the line?
I'll tell you, I think my heart was beating faster than my truck was moving. That was just insane. I wasn't even looking at the fuel in like that entire last run because I was committed. If I ran out, I ran out. I was just saving as much as I could. And I gotta give a huge shout out to Blake. I don't know if I could have won it without bouncing ideas off him and stuff. Me and him basically ran out at the same time, so we were on like the exact same strategy. But that was just one of the most, if not the most nerve-wracking races I've ever been, a part of.
I thought it was interesting. I saw Garrett A. White, he pit like lap 40, and then I saw Paul Granata, he pit about lap 45, and I was watching those two because Garrett A. White, the way he short pit, he took that lead, and he was very, very quick. In fact, he caught up to you guys very close there at the end and almost taking the race win away from you. I think if he had a couple extra laps, he definitely would have done it, but granted, you guys may not have made it to the end on that point. But Paul Granata, he tried a different strategy there. Um, did you kind of have that conclusion in your head, like if I don't save right here, that Paul's got this in the bag. He has fuel in the truck. He can make it.
Yeah, I know it. Paul pit, I think, 5-10 laps earlier than us on that first stop. So I figured he was going to pit, early on the second stop and he wouldn't have to save. So I definitely knew, I had my eyes on him because Garrett can beat me. Anyone else can beat me. But if Paul or Blake beats me, I don't win the title. And obviously that's what we're here for. So I was definitely keeping an eye on him. And, I was saving throughout pretty much that entire run because I knew with his strategy, he probably would have had us, beat if I didn't save. And it looks like I saved, not 5 seconds, soon enough. I just barely beat him there.
Man, well, I know coming into this race you practiced, and I was trying to ask you because I knew you practiced. I was trying to get you to tell me that fuel run, and you wouldn't tell me. So I had no idea what was going on. I didn't even realize Paul was going to
Yeah.
short pit it right there. I didn't realize that you were going to be able to save it to the end. I didn't know what was happening. The furthest I saw anybody go was 50 laps with Mason Suit, and that kind of told me, okay, maybe if they save, they can go 50 laps here. But the fact that you and Blake got that close to splitting it 50-50 here, that fuel strategy, do you think that practice really paid off for you here leading into this championship?
It certainly gave me a bit of an idea. I think when I tested the fuel, I'll tell you now, I think I got like 47 laps. So I was honestly kind of shocked that, granted in my little test, I wasn't saving. I was just seeing if I just full sent it, how much I could get. But kind of shocked I was able to, not have to two-stop it because the last thing I wanted was going to have to pit with like 5 to go. And, from there, it's like, do you take rights, just short fill it or what? So, yeah, practice definitely did help a bit. Gave me a bit of an idea of what the fuel run was and what to expect for sure.
All right, man. Well, I don't really have too much else to say. I have a lot to say, but I don't have enough to say at else. I'm really excited for you. I'm really happy for you. You have had some awful luck this season. You've come close to several wins. You were leading in 3 and 4 at iRacing Super Speedway. You got turned. You were leading in the Tri-Oval at Talladega, and just Talladega happened 4 wide, everyone wrecking at the line. You were about to win Michigan. A little bit of contact from the 51 sent you around. You were quick at Bristol. You got wrecked by a lap truck. There were so many instances where you came close to winning. At Charlotte, you had a bad restart after being right there in position to possibly take that win. At Chicagoland, you finished second. You come here to the last race at Las Vegas without the win. Not only do you get your first race win of the season, but you get the championship as well with it. So absolute congratulations to you on that, Christian. It's been a pleasure having you here all season. You're a sponsor of WORC, and it's great to just see that something finally comes from that sponsorship, I guess. You finally got yourself a championship here. So I guess before I let you go, Christian, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight?
Obviously, huge thanks to you for hosting the league. Doing the broadcast. I hope it was a fun one. Hope everyone watching enjoyed it. Huge thanks to my teammates, Blake especially, because me and him really kind of worked together with that race and the fuel mileage and stuff. Just what a season, and I'm excited to be back. For the Bristol Dirt Nationals in about a week's time, and then rack them up for the summer series. It should be a blast.
All right, man. Well, I guess I do have one more question here. Um, how are you thinking of celebrating this championship, man? I know obviously you're not 18, or well, not 21, so you can't go partying with some alcohol here. But you're gonna crack open a Pepsi. What are you gonna do to celebrate this, man?
I'm gonna find some Pepsi, and I'll probably maybe go toy shopping on eBay and maybe pick up something. We'll have to see, but yeah, we're gonna certainly celebrate this one.
All right, man. Congratulations once again on your championship. Hard work all season long pays off. You had the most top fives all season long of any driver in the field, and you had the most top tens of any driver in the field. So all that consistency paid off. You get your way into the final four, and you win the race and the championship. Congratulations, Christian. Enjoy this one, bud.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, that was our champ, Christian Visconti. Great, great run for him. And now this guy somehow snuck into P2. I guess I missed it just at the line. Garrett A. White. Let's bring him in here. Garrett, welcome to the WORC TV booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir.
All right, Garrett. Well, it wasn't that bad of a race for you. You started pole. You had just a little issue though. You got the wall. You kind of fell back in the field, but you made up for it in pit strategy. Absolutely great pit call. What was going through your head when you decided to try to short pit this to try to get yourself a race win here?
Yeah, I had that damage, and it was getting too tight, and I knew, I'm not. There's nothing to lose, so I just decided to split the segment into thirds, and it almost worked out. I wish I would have pushed a little bit harder on that last stint, or maybe pitted a little bit early, but can't be mad with P2.
I mean, yeah, for sure. P2 definitely not that bad here. You won last week at Nashville, so you definitely had a very good ending to the season. Absolutely great on your end. Um, Man, do you think if you didn't have that damage there, that maybe you just fell back in the field a little bit, that pit strategy, you got really close at the line. I just took a look at it. I completely missed it. You were just a mere 300ths away from winning that race. Do you think if that damage wasn't a little bit right, or maybe you messed up on a lap, like, do you think there was anything you could have done that you would have gained those 300ths there on that last lap and won it?
Yeah, I mean the damage, I think messed us up, but there was definitely somewhere in that stint where I could have maybe pushed a little bit harder and got a little bit. So I'm beating myself up a little bit, but yeah, it's P2, not bad.
All right, man. Well, nothing to be ashamed of here. A great podium finish to end out the season. 24 laps led, a pole win. So you definitely had yourself a pretty solid run here, just barely missing out on that race win. But the champion of the series won that race, so I guess you can't be too mad about losing that one. Before I let you go, Garrett, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight? I know that tonight was your final race here in WORC with Fox Motorsports because you're making that transition over to Nova Sim Racing. So, if you have anybody you want to thank tonight, your last race, Fox Motorsports, feel free to do it right now.
Yeah. Well, first I want to congratulate Christian Visconti. He definitely deserved that one. And for Fox Motorsports, it's been a hell of a year for us. It's sad to see us go, but we're really excited for what's in the future.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on P2 here, Garrett. Good run for you. Just one position short of that race win, but nothing to hang your head on. You had a great truck season yourself. P5 in the standings, so you definitely made yourself known. Looking over to the future, things are definitely bright for you here in WORC. You definitely have a championship run somewhere on your hands at some point because you have shown that speed week in and week out. So congratulations, Garrett, on P2, and we'll see you around, man.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was Garrett A. White. You got P2 now. We're going to bring in P2 in the championship standings, and the guy who finished P3 in this race, Blake Kennedy. Blake, you're in the WORC TV booth. You have a copy, bud?
Yeah, I do.
All right, man. Well, it kind of came up short there, but it kind of came down to trying to figure out which of you teammates would win. What kind of propelled you to help work out with Christian Visconti there? You guys are championship contenders, but you're also best friends, your teammates. What kind of propelled you there? Hey, we've got to get this strategy going. We've got to win Outlaw Racing a championship. What went through your head there?
I don't know. I'm just gonna say, first of all, I'm not disappointed at all with the results. I'm glad Christian won it. I'm glad we both had the same mindset. We both went in there, saying, okay, maybe we can make it to halfway. And we made it to lap 50, well, before we had to pit, or 49 coming to 50. And we pit then, and we were on the strategy of like, we're going to have to save it all the way. And everyone else didn't offer that strategy. And, as you saw at the end, if Garrett was in the Final Four, it would have been really close, and we probably would have pushed it more. But the fact that he wasn't, we were able to save so much more, and Paul was not much farther back. Me and Christian, I went behind him about 10 laps into that second stint because I passed him out of pit road, and then, I knew I had to save fuel, and I knew I burned more than him, at least passing him. So we ran out at the exact same time. There's no better way to lose than that.
All right, man. Well, of course, I noticed on the last lap you did try to make yourself a little bit of a push. Of course, being on the same strategy there, it was kind of hard for you to try to make that push running out of fuel. It wasn't that bad of a season for you, though. You got to win at iRacing Super Speedway. You come P2 in the standings, and you're already a WORC champion. So, I mean, you would have joined Chris Brown as the only guys to win multiple WORC championships here, but that just shows that your run here today means that you have plenty more WORC championship opportunities in your future. You've shown yourself as a championship competitor throughout multiple series, whether it be the Skippy series where you won that championship, and the Dirt Modified Tour you ran P2 in those standings. Here, obviously, you finished P2 in these P2 in these championship standings, P3 in this race. You've shown yourself with quite a bit of speed, and you're already a WORC champion, as I mentioned. So, in the future here, do you see yourself as still competing for championships? Do you still see yourself as feeling more confident about it now that you've ran quite a few races and you've gotten this under your belt?
I mean, I don't really feel any less confident or more confident that they won, I mean, I came in here with the goal to win the championship, and, I lost out, but that's what happens. I already got a championship. I wouldn't mind another one. Like you said, I believe I am really competitive in almost every series we run, and, it's just up to if I can make every race. And, I just got to be like how I was in the playoffs here in the truck series, running the top 3 every single race, and I wasn't doing that really before the playoffs started. So I just gotta be more consistent.
All right, man. Well, it was still a good season from you, Blake. Absolutely great for you here at P2. Your team comes home with a 1-2 championship standing finish. Your teammate comes home with a championship. Nothing to hang your head on. You racked up quite a few top 5s to end the playoffs, as you mentioned. Before I let you go, Blake, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight?
I want to thank Christian, first of all, for, race me clean. We knew we had our mindset into it, and we just whoever runs out first, you run out first and you lose the championship. But we ran out at the same time, and he was ahead of me. So I want to thank him for race me clean and race me fair and having a good race all around. I really like the field today. I want to thank the field for not causing a yellow, because otherwise our plan would have been foiled there. I want to thank my team owner for getting 2 great drivers into the Final Four, and coming up 1-2 in the overall standings is nothing to be disappointed about. We didn't win. I don't think we won the owners' points, but in drivers we got 1-2. So.
All right, man. Well, it was a great season for you guys at Outlaw Racing and a great season for you individually as well, Blake. Like I said, nothing to hang your head on. You've shown yourself as a championship contender so far in multiple series. So hopefully you keep that run going. You've got yourself a championship in a road league. You got yourself a P2 championship finish in a primarily oval and a primarily dirt league. So, I mean, you've definitely proven yourself as a front runner in all 3 different disciplines. So it's great to see you around, Blake. And hopefully we see you around in the future, man. It's great having you around. We love having you here at WORC, and we love seeing you week in and week out. Congratulations, Blake. Don't hang your head too much, man, and focus on the positives, man.
Yep, that's all you got to look at.
All right, we'll see you around, Blake.
All right, thank you.
All right, that was Blake Kennedy. Now we're going to bring in Our final, our third P3 in the standings. He had himself a good strategy, as we see here. He was coming down pit road at this point in the race. Paul Granata. Paul, you're in the WORC TV booth, man. Do you have a copy?
I do.
Well, Paul, it came down to different strategies. You led for most of that middle portion of the race in terms of the championship race, and you even led quite a bit of laps yourself, 12 of them to be exact. Unfortunately, though, the strategies just didn't play in your favor. What do you think you could have done differently with your strategy that may have helped you win this race?
Well, first off, I just want to say congrats to Kristen on the championship. Like that was an amazing race to do in. Honestly, talking to Garrett about it, and trying to get something different there. I kind of like my first pit stop. I think that was a great pit stop. Great time to pit. My second pit stop, if I would have pitted like 5 to 6 laps earlier than what I did, I felt like I may actually got a run to run them down if they would have ran out to be only about 2-3 seconds before they actually ran out.
Yeah, I mean, it came down very close there, and Garrett, he snuck by with P2, and I didn't even notice. I was too busy focused on Christian and Blake pushing each other at the line to even see Garrett come by and almost steal the race win away. A very incredible finish on that end. So yeah, you think, I mean, pitting a few laps earlier may have helped you, but nothing to hang your head on, Paul. You, one of WORC's Ironmen, you're fourth all time in starts. You're just behind another champion, Jay Mulder. You're behind Ryan Martin. You're behind Henry Klappert in stats. So you've definitely been here week in and week out for the most part here in WORC. You've won a couple races. You won Daytona to open the season. What would you say your overall recap of the season was for you?
Honestly, a lot better than season one. We ain't even go back and look at the season one stats. I think I finished maybe 2 races out of the 8 I started. No, honestly, starting the season off with the win, I definitely changed my mindset. I was like, okay, we got the win. Let's just focus and consistency. And we honestly had consistency, maybe not through qualifying. So starting third today was honestly a big boost, big mental boost. Definitely made me feel a little bit better going into the race, and then continue to stay top 5 the whole race was definitely a key. I think it's time to focus and get ready for the summer series and lay back, have fun, and then go out there and get ready for season 3.
All right, man, for sure. When the trucks come back in the fall, I expect you to be very competitive once again. I expect Blake and Christian to be very competitive too. All three of you really put on a show throughout the season, and all three of you showed that you guys are truly some of the best in this series that we have to offer. And for those people who like to say things about Jay Mulder's Mickey Mouse Championship, well, I think they should come race WORC because I think some of those guys haven't truly seen what you guys can put up here for competition. So congratulations to you, Paul. Podium finish in the championship standings. Nothing to hang your head on. It was a good season for you, the best season you've ever had in WORC. And as we move forward to the summer series, I know we're probably going to be seeing you most of that time. Hopefully you can run for another Street Stock Championship. Maybe you can throw your hat in the ring in the MX5 Cup Challenge that we're bringing on. Or maybe you can throw your hat in the ring in the Dirt Midget Tour. Who knows, man? As long as you're here week in, week out, consistency could play key in a championship here, as we saw today with Christian Visconti. Before I let you go, Paul, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight?
I just want to thank Rocket Racing Centers for coming on board within the last 24 hours. That was pretty cool to be a part of and bring them home third in the championship battle. Nova Sim Racing, our newest driver, Garrett A. White, he's switching over to Nova starting today, honestly, out of this league. So, and thank you for broadcasting and everything you do for this league and continuing week in, week out and dealing with everybody.
All right, man. Well, congratulations, Paul. P3 in the standings. Nothing to hang your head on. Focus on the positives, man. You got a nice win at Daytona, and we'll see you around, man. Hopefully you can put your hat in the ring at the Bristol Dirt Nationals, and we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, that's Paul Granata. Man, that'll do it, guys. That'll end our season here. 3 great championship contenders. They all battled each other hard throughout the race. Some great strategy. Man, everything played out perfect. Congratulations to Christian Visconti. Unfortunately, that does it here on WORC TV for a couple of months as we're going to head into our summer break. However, we would like to tell you guys about our event, Bristol Dirt Nationals, May 15th. That's a Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be taking Dirt Legends to the Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll have 60 entries into the field. It'll be $50 to win, $25 finish P2, $15 finish third. Hard Charger will get $11.95 in terms of the value of the iRacing content that they will choose to win. That's right. Even if you're not finishing on the podium, you still have a chance to win something because the guy who gains the most positions in that race will win any piece of $11.95 valued iRacing content that they choose. Of course, they can always choose to decline the money, or they could choose to just take it in iRacing credits of some sort. But we thank everyone for tuning in here to WORC TV. It's been a great 3 series that we've ran. From road to oval to dirt oval, all these guys put on shows week in and week out, and a great race to conclude everything that has come on this season. We had records in participants in each series, and we hope that that continues into the summer series. We'll be hosting several special events here in WORC. The Bristol Dirt Nationals is not the last one we'll host before summer series comes back. I have about 2 to 3 more planned, so it's going to